Good evening. You're watching the Sultan of Oman television, 7 o'clock English news. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos received a written message from His Excellency the Prime Minister of the Republic of Ireland. The first and second phases of Adam Thumrait Dual Carriageway and Al Sharqiya Expressway will be opened this year. With the participation of 882 publishers, the 24th edition of Muscat International Book Fair begins today at Oman Convention and Exhibition Center. And an agreement to develop gas resources in West Sahirol Station is signed. Those are the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos received a written message from His Excellency Leo Varadkar, Prime Minister of the Republic of Ireland. The message was handed over to His Excellency Ambassador Sheikh Salim bin Suhail Al Mashani, Head of International Organizations Department at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, when he received His Excellency Patrick Hansey, Special Envoy of the Irish Prime Minister. During the meeting, issues of common concern were exchanged. His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal bin Saud Al Busaidi, Minister of the Diwan of Royal Court, received his office today. His Excellency Sultan bin Saeed Al Mansouri, Minister of the Economy of the United Arab Emirates and head of the UAE side at the Omani-UAE Joint Committee. The meeting exchanged cordial talks and discussed aspects of existing cooperation between the two brotherly countries in the field of economy. The first and second phases of Adam Thumrait Dual Carriageway and Al Sharqiya Expressway will be opened this year. That was revealed during the annual conference of the Minister of Transport and Communications. At the conference, it was revealed that the containers volume at the Sultanate's ports will increase by 15%. During the conference, it was also announced that the commercial operation of the third mobile operator in the Sultanate will start by 2020. The ministry stated that by 2020, more than 700,000 tons will be handled through air freight in the Sultanate. According to the latest international indices, the Sultanate came first Arab-wise and 8th in the international level for the high standard of roads. The new Muscat International Airport also won the award for the best leading airport in 2018. This reflects the special attention being given by the Omani government to the infrastructure sector. According to the conference, 80% is the work completed of the two tunnels of Al-Aq Road. The first and the second phases of Adam Thumrait Dual Carriageway will be opened before the Kharif season in 2019. The conference stated that the Sultanate advanced a 5th position in the Logistic Performance Index. It as well stated that contribution of the logistics sector to the Sultanate's gross domestic product is expected to reach 14 billion Omani Riyals by 2040. The Minister of Oil and Gas signed an agreement with Omani oil companies, Shell and Total companies to finance and implement a work program for developing gas resources in block number 6 at West Sahirol Station. The agreement is aimed to meet the increased needs of the Sultanate's energy and transform gas into liquid petroleum derivatives. The project will contribute in the economy diversification and enhance the development of economy in Sohar Port and the industrial estate. The agreement was signed by His Excellency Dr. Mohammed bin Hamad Al Rumhi, Minister of Oil and Gas. Coinciding with the annual conference of the Association of Development Financing Institutions in Asia and Pacific, at FIAB, a seminar entitled The Role of Financing Institutions for Development in Supporting Economic Development was held in Muscat. The seminar will fulfill the requirements of the male and female entrepreneurs in Sultanate. It targets small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, through the exchange of experiences and practices in the field of financing development. The seminar as well focuses on the role of financial institutions in developing the concept of entrepreneurship. Still to come, a news bulletin. Public Authority for Radio and Television launches radio broadcast vehicle. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. The 24th edition of Muscat International Book Fair begins today at Oman Convention and Exhibition Center with the participation of 882 publishers from 30 countries. 523 titles will be displayed and posted on the official website, of which 35% are new releases. The fair management decided to host governorates as guest of honor instead of cities. The governorate of Al Brahmi is the guest of honor this year. More than 25 media institutions participate in covering the activities of the fair. The opening ceremony was held under the auspices of His Excellency Ahmed bin Nasser al-Mahrazi, Minister of Tourism. Cooperation opportunities in the economic field between the Sultanate and the United Arab Emirates were discussed today in Muscat in the Oman UAE Forum. His Excellency Dr. Masoud bin Ali Al-Sinaidi, Minister of Commerce and Industry, chaired the Omani side, while the UAE side was headed by His Excellency Engineer Sultan bin Saeed Al-Mansouri, Minister of Economy. The forum also focused on a number of sectors like trade, tourism, transport and communications, as well as business. It's worth mentioning that the trade exchange between the two countries reached more than 4.4 billion Omani riyals by the end of September 2018. His Excellency Gavin Williamson, British Defence Secretary, and his accompanying delegation arrived here today on an official several days visit to the Sultanate. The Royal Army of Oman, RAO, represented by the Musandam Security Forces and the Sultans of Oman parachutes, executed the Omani-British joint exercises Mountain Storm with the participation of British Royal Army units. The joint training exercises took place at RAO and Mountain Areas Combat Training Unit in the Governorate of Musandam, where the Omani-British participating forces carried out the desired plans in order to achieve the training objectives envisaged by the exercise activities, during which the participants showed a high level of performance and spirit. The implementation of such exercises comes within the framework of the RAO training plan to maintain the high level of performance, training and combat efficiency among RAO personnel, as well as within the annual programs implemented by the RAO with the friendly countries. The Public Authority for Radio and Television PART inaugurated a radio broadcasting vehicle. The broadcast device and equipment was set up by specialized cadres from PART engineers. The PART saved about 90% by purchasing such readily prepared vehicles, which could have cost $500,000 Omani riyals. The vehicle will open the expansion of external radio broadcast provided with high definition quality. The vehicle also designed to support visual and audio broadcasts in order to connect with communication means without using satellites. It's worth mentioning that this is not the first time the PART engineers were able to transfer a regular broadcast vehicle to a high definition broadcast vehicle. The inauguration was held under the auspices of His Excellency Dr. Abdullah bin Nasser al-Harasi, Chairman of PART. His Excellency Sheikh Khalid bin Umar Al Marhoon, Minister of Civil Service, received the members of the Technical Committee for Civil Service Affairs and Human Resources at GCC countries within the framework of the 8th meeting of the committee, which hosted by the Sultan represented in the Ministry of Civil Service. His Excellency stressed on the importance of exchanging expertise, experiences, and successful administrative practices among the GCC countries, which will contribute in uplifting the performance efficiency and continuous development in level of provided services by government units in the field of civil service and human resources in the GCC countries. The Minister of Education held a ceremony to honor winners of Knowledge Development Program for male and female students in science, mathematics, and environmental geography subjects. The event included a number of cultural, sports, and social activities. His Excellency Fuad bin Jafar Asajwani, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth, presided over the event. The 6th edition of Youth Creation is taking place in South Sharqiya Governorate. It has attracted large number of participants in various fields this year. More details in the following report by Sultan bin Saif Al Sarai.
All talented people gather here in this Talents Hub after qualifying from the first stage of the 6th edition of Youth Creation Competition in South Al-Sharqiya Governorate.
This competition is a kind of a healthy environment to have new skills and abilities that related to acting and theater. It is not a matter of lose or win, as it is to highlight the emerging talents. So I wish all the best for all participating teams.
This competition aims to discover and enhance youth talents from schools, higher education institutions, and sports clubs in South Al-Sharqiya by giving them the best atmosphere to showcase their talents.
Come see these young people and support them to improve this talent and also to make him do more what he have in inside.
Various talents have been attracted by this competition over the last few years, such as acting, sport commentating, and traditional Omani art singing. Here it is once again. Youth Creation Competition is back in South Al-Sharqiya Governorate to find and demonstrate youth talents in various fields in order to compete across the Sultanate in the coming stage. Sultan bin Saif Al Sarai from Sur College of Applied Sciences, South Al-Sharqiya Governorate.
And finally, can robots be creative? British Gallery owner Aidan Mellor hopes to go some way towards answering that question, with Ida, who her makers say will be able to draw people from a site with a pencil in her bionic hands. Let's watch it.
Aidan Miller is overseeing the final stages of Ida's construction by engineers at Cornwall-based Engineered Arts. He calls Ida, named after British mathematician and computer pioneer Ada Lovelace, the world's first ultra-realistic robot artist, and his ambition is for her to perform like her human equivalents.
Are robots actually capable of being creative? AI is developing rapidly at the moment, but in actual fact, what is it going to be able to do? It's incredibly powerful, but at the end of the day, what do we want it to do? What image are we forming with this technology on society? And that's something that we're incredibly excited by. I think the fact that she's got this incredible dimple.
Her skeletal robotic head may stand disembodied on a workbench, but her movements are very much alive.
Very faint. Yes.
Cameras in each of her eyeballs recognize human features. She will make eye contact and follow you around the room, opening and closing her mouth as you do. Get too close and she will back away, blinking as if in shock. Ida's makers say she will have a robo-thespian body with expressive movements, and she will talk and answer questions.
Our goal is that she actually performs as an artist, so that is visually, as in she's going to actually be drawing, we're hoping to then build technology for her to paint, but also as a performance artist, she'll be able to engage with audiences and actually get messaging across, asking those questions about technology today.
Ida's makers are using Mesmer lifelike robot technology for her head, and once finished, she will have a mixed-race appearance with long dark hair, silicone skin and 3D printed teeth and gums.
There's an awful lot crammed into this face behind the scenes. The mechanics have had to be miniaturized and made as small as possible to fit inside this small envelope. We've developed custom electronics to fit, custom software, custom motor control, and combined this with scripting to bring the robot to life.
Ida will present her inaugural exhibition Unsecured Futures in May at the University of Oxford, and her sketches will go on display in London in November.
My telepresence right now, so I've got somebody.
Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultan, clear skies or to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the northern Gulf rates of the Sultan with chances of scattered rains. The rest of the Sultan will have clear skies with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning over the Gulf rates of South Sharqiya and Al-Wusta. Winds will be southeasterly to south light to moderate, and seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 meter. This is the Sultan of Oman television. Before we tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos receives a written message from His Excellency the Prime Minister of the Republic of Ireland. The first and second phases of Adam Thamray dual carriageway and Al Sharqiya Expressway will be opened this year. With the participation of 882 publishers, the 24th edition of Muscat International Book Fair begins today at Oman Convention and Exhibition Center. And an agreement to develop gas resources in West Siah Station is signed. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin from Al Wasiya Newsroom and Studios. Thanks for your time. Good night.